Right, what is the Kent Parents Action Group? The Kent Parents Action Group, PAG for short, works to provide support, change, attitudes and improve services for parents with a learning difficulty or disability. We have a resource library, support groups, and we do training, which we'll go into later, and working with statutory and community organisations.
The reason why we called our presentation a supportive journey was partly because Beth was pressing us for a title, and partly because some of the positive things out of the work that we've done we felt were very much part of a journey, and that's what we thought was useful. So what's come out of the work that we've done within the group is that pre-pregnancy support and family planning is very important from the beginning. Accessible and informed antenatal care and support, so midwives are very much involved and know what they're doing. The right agencies are involved from birth, if not before. Support and workshops before the assessment is necessary, and then ongoing workshops and support and reviews to meet the developmental needs of children. So you don't stop being a parent when your child's 6 months old, it goes on until they're adults. So the Kent Parents Action Group is funded by Kent County Council. They give us a grant which funds 2.5 hours a week for a coordinator. And what they wanted us to spend our money on this year was to produce a report on what works well and what needs improving in terms of support and services for parents with a learning difficulty in Kent. So I worked with some of the other members of the group, interviewing parents individually and in focus groups, and the report that we're putting together for Kent County Council documents that. It documents the experiences of 6 parents with a learning difficulty in Kent, and we also got feedback from professionals. So we held a networking event where we met different professionals, community groups, working with children's centres, with parents, or just supporting adults with a learning difficulty, and we got their feedback from what works well as well. And we're currently gathering statistics to support our report and show the number of parents with a learning disability in Kent. So as you all know, if you're trying to get funding or trying to encourage things to change, you need those statistics, because it's all very well saying, well, we've got 6 parents that this is going to be useful for, but actually quite often they need to see a bigger number than that. So that's what we're struggling with at the moment, and we're hoping that by March we'll have that report fully done, and we're very happy to share that with anybody who will find that useful. So, through the report, these are some of the things that work well.
What we found out. What works well? Good relationships with foster carers and high involvement in child's foster placement. Solicitor involvement, very supportive and encouraging. Symbol support, in particular in the community-based support and peer support from other families. Support within mother and baby unit in Tunbridge and Malling. Consistent chair reviews. Practical home-based support with bills, letters, appointments, hospital visits. When families are involved in decisions and support plans with the consent of the parent, and if regularly reviewed. Children's centres promoting groups and activities for families of under 5 within their networks. Volunteer community support for families with additional needs from children's centres. Co-delivered training to student midwives from parents with a learning difficulty helps raise awareness of good support and challenge misconceptions. When easy-read parenting information is given and used, parents find this helpful. This is available through Change. Community engagement events to bring professionals and parents together to raise awareness and address any provision gaps more needed.
I've got one today, so that's fantastic.
Children's and adult services are communicating about how they can work together to improve services for parents with a learning difficulty.
And it's that last point that in Kent we found to be the most helpful. So we're very, very fortunate that Children's Services in Kent are very supportive of the work that we're doing. Our main contact to start with came through the Commissioner for Adult Services, and she then put us in touch with the Commissioner for Children's Services. We've had several meetings with the Autistic Spectrum Conditions team as well, with policy officers within Kent County Council, and they've all been working together to discuss this, to discuss how we can get the right support in place early on. I think that's been a common theme from what some other people have been saying, that that's what's needed. We need to get that right support in there. What policy officers were working on, which our report was supporting, was a new protocol for how the different departments across Kent County Council could work together to support families with additional needs. And then this Pesky Care Act came in and they had to shelve that while they refreshed all of their policies to meet that. But actually, that's going to really help because everything that the Care Act is saying is what we've been saying. It's about more personalised care, it's about preventative measures. So we're hoping that that's going to support their policies as well, and that the research that we've been doing as the Parents Action Group is going to support that too.
Midwife teaching, a good start in life. Midwife teaching. We work with Canterbury Christchurch University to help co-deliver learning disability awareness teaching to student midwives. The university pays us for this training. We co-deliver with one parent with a learning difficulty or disability and one without. This means we pay people for the work they do. This helps build skills in communication and presenting. We help the students think about what it means to have a learning disability and the kind of support people might need. Midwives are often the first professionals working with a parent who might notice that they need additional support. I am involved in delivering the midwife training because I want to help student midwives see people with learning difficulties as people. I feel that by sharing my story it will help improve support with other parents get from their midwives. And this is me. This is me and Kathy, who's a senior lecturer in the learning disability at the Canterbury Christchurch University, co-delivering the training. She's such a lovely lady. Feedback. This is the feedback we got from the students. Shows collaborative working, having different presenters helped keep our attention. The videos and questions helped us engage. The video was from Change, which is about a parent who actually goes to court and has her child taken away. It's a very poignant little video, isn't it? It was interesting to hear your Zoe's story from a professional point of view, which was about me and Amy and what I've been through, like having, Amy doesn't live with me, she lives with my mum, and I'm hoping to get her back soon. It helped us think about our practice before we are qualified. I think you should run this session every year. In my placement I found, this was one from somebody who was in a placement. In my placement I found that there were blanket referrals to social services. The training made me think about how this could be a good thing, but how it could be also fuel for prejudice. In my placement, it was generally felt that a learning disability was seen as a problem. Now I have had these experiences give me a different approach.
So So this is something that we've had in place for quite a while with Canterbury Christchurch University, and we're very fortunate that they've been very supportive of us going in and helping deliver the modules. Since they've seen it, they've also asked whether we could do some learning disability awareness training on dealing with difficult ethical dilemmas for social work students. So they'd like some of us to go and present our parenting module to the social work students as well. So we found that very useful for us and for them.
Right, now we've got two other parents with learning disabilities who come from Symbols, which is, I will pass over to Becky and Brian.
Support for independence. Symbol is a private organisation. Referrals from Symbol assessment and support are made through the courts when a parent is considered unable to look after their children. A viability assessment is made to see if Symbol is suitable.
Just because she's a little bit quiet. You're right.
International assessments for families are carried out in Newington and Scotland. This hopefully leads to an independent living assessment. If people pass the assessment, Symbol gives support with finding one. Then help the woodland support the children and what people how they are involved in our children's work. No one could be normally taken until he was 9 months old. I was assisting who a week being taken off parents after their children.
When my freedom was boy, I have that's better. Sorry, boy.
Just tell us.
Yeah, I was 13 years old. See their children. They're grieving. All this I've done, and it's involved all the details. It's great. And that sort of stuff. Very good.
They get their helping organs as well.
No.
And so talk a little bit about different types of.
We get support in the health test,
Brian?
And they are, would take